Imagine for a second, right, that you could just plug your body directly into a computer. You sit down, you connect a cable, and you just, like, download a software update for better sleep. Or maybe you install a quick patch to permanently delete brain fog and just clear out your anxiety.
Oh, that would be amazing.
Right. It sounds completely like science fiction. But right now, there are millions of people around the world trying to do exactly this.
Yeah, treating their bodies not as biology, but as, like, programmable hardware.
Exactly. A system that can be hacked, upgraded, and totally optimized through this massive global trend. So welcome to The Missing Lessons, where we explain what school never did. Because in today's hyper-competitive world, society constantly demands absolute peak performance from you.
Oh, absolutely. Whether you're studying for grueling finals or just trying to stand out at a new job, the pressure is relentless.
Yeah, people are just feeling utterly exhausted by daily life. And biohacking is this modern attempt to take total, unapologetic control of your own biology to get an edge in a world that, honestly, never stops moving.
If you're enjoying The Missing Lessons, make sure to follow the podcast, leave a rating, and share it with someone who might find it interesting. It helps us create more episodes and reach more curious minds.
So for this deep dive, we really need to completely shift how we view the human organism. Before we can start upgrading our biology, we have to understand what it actually means to hack it. Think about a traditional computer hacker.
They don't just use the software the way they're supposed to.
Right. They break into the system, decipher the underlying code, find the hidden levers, and, manipulate the inputs to force the machine to do what they want.
Yeah.
Biohacking applies that exact same engineering mindset, but the system is you.
So instead of just waking up, feeling sluggish, and accepting that today is a bad day, you're looking at your biology as a formula.
Precisely. It is the practice of making intentional, heavily data-driven changes to your diet, your lifestyle, or your environment to optimize how your cells actually function.
Yeah.
You basically change the variables to guarantee a specific outcome.
And this didn't just pop up overnight, right?
No, not at all. It took root about 2 decades ago, mostly among elite athletes and, like, Silicon Valley tech engineers. These were people who viewed things like sleep and eating as operational inefficiencies.
Like they were just a waste of time.
Exactly. To them, the body was just a vehicle for the brain, and it needed to be tuned like a Ferrari. But fast forward to today, and that fringe subculture has totally exploded into the mainstream. And what's truly fascinating is just the sheer spectrum of what counts as a biohack. Like at the absolute extreme end, there is a subculture known as grinders.
Oh, I've heard of this. This is where it crosses over from health into something out of a cyberpunk novel.
Yes, it is wild. The grinders view the natural human body as a fundamental limitation. They want to merge with technology, literally. They are surgically implanting hardware directly into their flesh.
Wait, surgically implanting? Like what?
We were talking about embedding small, powerful magnets into their fingertips. And the mechanism there is crazy. As the flesh heals, the nerve endings grow densely around the magnet.
Okay, but why?
Well, when they walk near a microwave, a power line, or a live wire, the magnet subtly vibrates. The brain interprets that as a completely new physical sense. They can literally feel electromagnetic fields.
That is insane.
Right. Others are placing RFID chips under their skin to unlock doors, or installing continuous blood sugar monitors right into their arms so they can read their metabolic state on their phone 24/7.
Okay, I have to step in and challenge that. Implanting a magnet into your hand so you can feel a microwave buzzing, is that actually practical for a normal 20-something? Or does that cross the line from a health practice into a complete sci-fi obsession?
I mean, it is pretty out there.
Because treating your arm like a fleshy USB drive feels like we are completely losing the plot. Like, what would you do in that situation? Would you ever consider putting a microchip under your skin just to track your health?
It is an extreme leap, and honestly, the vast majority of us are absolutely not ready for unregulated surgical implants in our garages.
Yeah, I would hope not.
So if we step back from the grinder extremes, we find the everyday biohacks, the stuff people are actually doing. If we aren't going to slice open our arms to install hardware, the next logical step is controlling the software updates we feed the system. And that brings us to fuel specifically the massive trend of nutrigenomics.
Nutrigenomics, so like nutrition and genetics, breaking down how your DNA reacts to your lunch.
Exactly. The basic idea here is that the standard nutritional advice we all grew up with, the traditional food pyramid, is deeply flawed because there is no one-size-fits-all diet.
Because everyone is different.
Right. Nutrigenomics looks at how your specific individual genetic code dictates the way you process fuel. For example, your genes act like an instruction manual for building enzymes, which break down your food.
Ah.
Some people have a specific gene variant that allows them to process caffeine incredibly fast.
Oh, and others have a variant where a single cup of coffee at noon keeps them wired until midnight.
Exactly. I know you've met people like that. So by analyzing your DNA, you theoretically custom tailor your fuel to match your exact enzyme production. But even without DNA tests, people are hacking their diets to force their bodies into entirely different metabolic states. The most famous example is easily Bulletproof Coffee.
I've seen this on social media.
Yeah, you brew a cup of black coffee, and then you violently blend in a large chunk of grass-fed butter alongside something called MCT oil, which is a highly concentrated extract of coconut oil.
Wait, hold on. We have spent decades being told that saturated fat is a fast track to heart disease, and now people are voluntarily dropping a stick of butter into their morning roast.
No, it sounds totally counterintuitive.
I need you to explain the actual biological justification for that, because drinking a cup of greasy coffee before a morning lecture sounds genuinely awful.
It completely violates everything we were taught about a balanced breakfast. But the biology behind it is fascinating. To understand it, think of your body like a hybrid car that has two different engines. Normally, your body runs on glucose, which comes from carbohydrates.
Okay, like eating a bagel or a bowl of oatmeal.
Right. When you eat that, your body gets a massive spike in blood sugar. That's a rocket fuel. It burns extremely fast and incredibly hot. But a couple hours later, that fuel runs out and you experience a heavy crash.
Ah, the classic sugar roller coaster. That's why you feel so incredibly sleepy and unfocused during your 11 a.m. meetings.
Exactly. But by entirely skipping the carbs and drinking coffee packed with pure, high-quality fats, you are intentionally starving that primary engine. You are forcing the hybrid car to switch to its secondary engine, which is fat burning.
Oh, I see.
The liver takes that specialized MCT oil and rapidly converts it into molecules called ketones. Ketones are an alternative fuel source that your brain absolutely loves. Unlike glucose, ketones provide a slow, steady, even burn.
And I'm guessing the heavy fats slow down the caffeine absorption too.
Exactly. The supposed result is 4 to 6 hours of intense, crash-free, laser-like focus with zero hunger pangs.
So instead of throwing paper onto a fire for a quick flare-up, you are putting a massive slow-burning log on the fire to keep the energy stable all morning.
That is the perfect analogy. And, biohackers don't stop with optimizing their breakfast fuel. They move right into upgrading their neural hardware. This is the realm of mental biohacking, specifically using substances known as nootropics or smart drugs.
Smart drugs. We aren't talking about illicit substances here, right?
No, not at all. We are talking about highly targeted compounds designed to artificially enhance cognitive function and basically eradicate brain fog. Take creatine, for example.
Wait, isn't that just the white powder that bodybuilders drink in locker rooms to get bigger biceps?
It used to be. But biohackers looked at the cellular mechanism and realized something crucial. Creatine helps your cells regenerate a molecule called ATP. Think of ATP as the microscopic currency your body uses to pay for everything.
Okay, so every time you flex a muscle, you spend ATP.
Right. But every time you recall a memory, process a complex thought, or just focus on a screen, your brain cells are spending massive amounts of ATP too. By supplementing with creatine, you are essentially increasing the size of the battery pack in your neurons.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, people are using it to measurably improve short-term memory, accelerate reaction times, and even stabilize the neural fatigue that leads to depression.
That's a really fascinating pivot. Taking a physical fitness supplement and applying its cellular mechanics to white-collar productivity. What else are they using to hack the brain?
They are heavily utilizing medicinal mushrooms, particularly one called lion's mane. At a biological level, compounds in lion's mane stimulate the production of nerve growth factor, or NGF.
Which does what exactly?
It's a protein that literally helps your brain maintain and regenerate neural pathways. It's like sending a repair crew into your brain overnight. But biohacking isn't just about the molecules you ingest. It's also about aggressively manipulating your physical environment to trick your nervous system.
Let me guess. Cold water therapy. Cold plunging.
Yes, the most visible example right now.
Oh, this is inescapable online. People voluntarily plunging into freezing backyard troughs full of ice at 6 in the morning. It looks completely miserable.
It is intensely uncomfortable, but they are doing it because it triggers an ancient biological cascade. When you submerge your body in near-freezing water, you initiate a severe survival response. Your blood vessels undergo rapid vasoconstriction.
Meaning they tighten up?
Right, they violently clamp down, pulling all the warm blood away from your limbs and rushing it into your core to protect your vital organs. But it's not just about blood flow. The shock of the cold causes your brain to release a massive tidal wave of norepinephrine and dopamine.
Which are your body's primary alertness and focus chemicals.
Exactly. The dopamine levels can rise by over 200% and stay elevated for hours. When you finally get out of the water, your blood vessels dilate, and fresh, highly oxygenated blood rushes back through your tissue, flushing out metabolic waste.
So it's like a system reboot.
Pretty much. People aren't just doing this to wake up. They're doing it to artificially lower systemic inflammation and to train their minds. By forcing yourself to stay calm while your body is screaming that it is freezing to death, you are actively raising your baseline tolerance for stress.
And naturally, biohackers want to prove all of this is working. Which brings us to the obsessive use of wearable technology.
Right, because if you can't measure it, you can't hack it. They are wearing biometric rings on their fingers and specialized watches that go way beyond just counting steps. They are tracking a metric called HRV, or heart rate variability.
What exactly is that?
It's the microscopic variation in milliseconds between each heartbeat. A high HRV means your nervous system is incredibly adaptable and recovered, while a low HRV means you are stressed and overtrained.
Wow, they track it that closely.
Oh yeah, they're charting exact cycles of REM and deep sleep, measuring nightly blood oxygen levels, and tracking body temperature fluctuations down to the decimal. They want a digital dashboard for the human body.
Okay, this is all incredibly compelling. The mechanisms make logical sense. But let's play devil's advocate here.
Go for it.
If we have the ability to switch our bodies into fat-burning machines, grow new neural pathways with mushrooms, and reset our stress systems with ice,
Yeah.
why isn't everyone walking around like a superhuman? There has to be a severe blind spot in this movement.
There is a massive blind spot, and it leads us directly into the dark side of this entire philosophy. The biggest flaw in the biohacking trend is the underlying assumption that more data and more extreme interventions automatically equal better health.
Because it's not that simple, is it?
Not at all. First and foremost, human biology is dizzyingly complex and highly individualized. A dietary hack that gives one person razor-sharp focus might severely disrupt the gut microbiome of someone else, leading to crippling brain fog. We are not factory-produced cars off an assembly line.
Right. We are incredibly delicate biological ecosystems, and we are intervening in systems we don't fully understand, especially with the supplements. I imagine the more is better mentality gets dangerous quickly.
It gets medically dangerous. The supplement industry is notoriously unregulated. You have young professionals watching videos online and then ordering dozens of different pills, creating these extreme daily regimens. They think, if a little vitamin D boosts my immune system, a massive dose must make me invincible.
But they don't understand the mechanisms.
Exactly. Vitamin D is fat-soluble, meaning your body stores the excess instead of flushing it out. If you take too much, it causes a condition called hypercalcemia. It literally pulls calcium out of your bones and dumps it in your bloodstream, which then crystallizes in your kidneys.
Ouch, causing severe kidney stones and cardiovascular issues.
Yes. There have been real medical cases of people destroying their livers by taking untested, highly concentrated herbal extracts they bought online just to optimize their digestion.
So in the pursuit of becoming biologically invincible, you actually end up hospitalizing yourself.
Exactly, and the physical risks are just the beginning. There is a deeply insidious psychological toll to treating yourself like a machine, and it revolves around the wearables.
Oh, I can see where this is going.
When you strap a biometric computer to your wrist and wake up every morning to a recovery score, you are outsourcing your own internal intuition to an algorithm. There's a documented phenomenon now called orthosomnia. It is the obsession with achieving perfect sleep metrics.
Let me guess, the obsession with getting perfect sleep actually causes you to lose sleep.
It is the ultimate tragic irony. If your smart ring tells you that you only got 12 minutes of deep sleep, your brain perceives that as a threat. Your HPA axis, which is your body's stress response system, activates and floods your body with cortisol.
Whoa, wow.
You might have woken up feeling completely fine, but because the screen told you that you were under-recovered, you spend the entire day feeling exhausted and anxious. You go to bed the next night so stressed about improving your digital score that your racing heart prevents you from actually falling asleep. The act of optimizing health becomes a high-anxiety, full-time job.
You're triggering the exact biochemical stress spike you're trying to avoid simply by stressing over the ring on your finger. That is wild.
It is a brutal cycle. And this realization that extreme technological interventions, unregulated compounds, and severe data anxiety
Yeah.
can actually destroy your health forces, true long-term biohackers to eventually pivot.
Pivot to what?
After all the extreme experimentation, they almost always surrender to what is known as the boring truth.
Which I assume is the stuff our biology evolved to actually need.
Exactly. When you strip away the slick marketing, the $1,000 gadgets, and the sci-fi promises, the ultimate, scientifically proven biohacks are completely free, and they are deeply traditional. In the optimization community, they are often referred to as the Big Five.
Okay, what's number one?
Number one is getting 7 to 9 hours of consistent high-quality sleep in a dark room. Not obsessively tracking it, just actually achieving it.
Because of the brain's internal cleaning cycle.
Yeah.
Right.
Yes, the glymphatic system. It's a network of vessels in the brain that only opens up during deep sleep. It pumps cerebrospinal fluid through your brain tissue, literally washing away the toxic amyloid beta proteins that build up during waking hours. No powder or pill on Earth can replicate that physical washing process.
That makes total sense. What's number two?
Number two is a diverse whole foods diet. Instead of hyperfixating on restrictive diets or, drinking butter, the goal is to eat 30 or more different types of plants every single week. This feeds the diverse colonies of bacteria in your microbiome.
And those bacteria are super important.
Yeah, they are responsible for manufacturing the vast majority of your body's serotonin, meaning your gut directly controls your mood.
So we have sleep and a diverse diet. What are the other three?
Number three is daily movement, specifically outside. You don't need a cryogenic chamber, you just need to walk. And the mechanism here is incredible. When you walk forward, visual objects pass by your peripheral vision. This creates a neurological phenomenon called optic flow.
Optic flow.
Yeah, that specific visual processing sends a signal directly to the amygdala, the fear center of your brain, and manually overrides it, telling the brain to stand down and stop producing stress hormones. Just walking physically quiets the mind.
Wow. Okay, what about number four?
Number four is proactive stress management. That means prioritizing breathwork and enforcing a ruthless digital detox to escape the constant blue light that suppresses your melatonin production.
And the final one, which I have a feeling has nothing to do with technology.
Number five is strong social connections. Meaningful human relationships physically alter your biology. When you have a positive interaction, the tone of a friend's voice and their facial expressions stimulate your vagus nerve, which runs from your brainstem down to your abdomen. This stimulation rapidly lowers your baseline cortisol levels.
It really is hilarious when you take a step back. The absolute peak of human biological optimization, like the ultimate biohack, is basically just living the exact way our grandparents did before smartphones existed.
Pretty much, yeah.
Eat real food, walk outside, sleep when the sun goes down, and actually look your friends in the eye. Have you ever noticed this in your own life? That you feel completely different, almost biologically renewed after a simple walk in the sun compared to scrolling on your phone for an hour?
Oh, we all feel it, but it's incredibly hard to practice in our modern environment.
Yeah.
And that zooms us out to why this entire trend matters so much for our society and human behavior. We are living in an era defined by intense psychological burnout, severe economic pressure, and just an overwhelming barrage of information overload.
Totally.
The modern economy largely treats human beings like productivity machines. We are expected to be available via email 24 hours a day, to absorb endless streams of terrible global news, and to constantly perform at our peak. The biohacking movement, beneath all the strange diets and ice baths, is really a desperate attempt by young people to reclaim control.
It makes perfect sense. When the economy, the news, and the world feel entirely chaotic and out of your control, being able to dictate your exact blood sugar level, your morning routine, and your heart rate gives you a profound sense of agency. It's a psychological safety net.
Exactly. It is a rebellion against feeling exhausted and exploited. And despite the silly extreme edges of the trend, it represents a massive, positive shift in how future generations are going to view healthcare.
A shift away from just treating sickness.
Right. For the last century, standard medicine has been almost entirely reactive. We wait until a biological system breaks, and then we take a pill to try and fix the symptoms. Biohacking represents a cultural shift toward proactive wellness. It's the desire to understand the machinery and optimize the system before the sickness ever has a chance to take root.
Here's a question for you. If you could safely hack one thing about your body or mind right now, like never feeling tired or having a perfect memory, what would it be? Let us know your thoughts in the comments.
Ultimately, the core lesson here is incredibly empowering. You do not need expensive tracking gadgets, you don't need a surgical implant in your arm, and you certainly don't need to blend butter into your coffee to upgrade your life. The danger lies in viewing your body as a flawed, broken machine that needs to be ruthlessly hacked into submission.
It's not a machine, it's a living thing.
Exactly. Your body is a deeply intelligent, ancient biological system. It doesn't need to be hacked. It needs to be supported with the right inputs. The ultimate shortcut to superhuman performance isn't found in a magic pill. It is found in mastering the simple, everyday, boring habits that we so easily take for granted.
Yeah, the basics really are the best biohack.
But it does leave us with a provocative thought about the future. As these optimizations move from basic habits into highly advanced, expensive genetic and cellular therapies, what happens to society? We might be rapidly approaching an era of a biological class divide.
Wait, like a world where the wealthy can literally afford to live in upgraded bodies?
Yeah. Exactly. A world where they have optimized, disease-free bodies while everyone else is left relying on standard reactive medicine. If health becomes something you can simply purchase an upgrade for, what does it mean to actually be human?
If you enjoyed this episode of The Missing Lessons, don't forget to follow the podcast, leave a rating, and share it with a friend. Your support helps us continue exploring the topics school never taught us.